In today's video, let's talk about DropBlox once again. As you remember, in my last video, I rated DropBlox a 6.6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 for being an average game. However, since then, I've improved on my critique and I definitely think it's fair to make a video once again as to discuss the topic. DropBlox is a game inspired by Fall Guys, which is inspired by Takeshi's Castle. Takeshi's Castle was a game show in the 90s that had silly challenges for its competitors to get to the game show host to win a cash prize. Since then, players in Fall Guys and DropBlox can now play this, as well as DropBlox to play the game with their friends. The description of DropBlox reads, an online multiplayer game where you clash with opponents and friends, sabotage and race others in minigames. Be the first to come out on top to achieve the epic victory. At first, it seems like the game is honestly okay. It's an okay game. However, a lot of critique has come out against DropBlox that I'd like to respond to as well as make my own points. Especially since KinecoKitten's video on the topic and many other YouTubers' videos on the topic, I'd like to address multiple points, such as the game being created for being a trend, being too inspired, and much more points. The game also has multiple issues that need to be addressed as well as the community response, which is mixed on the subject. Are these points valid and true? Let's find out. My name is TanookiAlex, and this is our Roblox review/drama series, where we go over Roblox drama and more. In this case, today we are responding against the critique against DropBlox. Yo, what's up, #Squad, and welcome back to another video. Before we get started in today's video, make sure to subscribe for Roblox drama, news, tips, and tricks, and more. Don't forget to like the video to make sure that others see it. Hopefully, we can hit 6.2k by the end of the year. That would mean a lot to me. Before I start this video, I want to make this video clear that it is with the intention of the game improving. With the intention of the game improving, I mean no negativity off the developers. Sometimes our critique may come off as harsh, but I definitely do not mean it as harsh. I just want the developers and the fanbase to know the truth about the game, because like with all products, it's true that the developers put some form of work into it. This take a W or a L, let me know about my points, because your feedback means a lot to me. With that being said, let's get started with our first point. The first point against DropBlox that a lot of people wanted me to address in the last video was the release date. The release date and the promises that have been made. The story starts with the game's release date being pressured due to KinecoKitten taking a video titled RIP this Roblox game. In the video, KinecoKitten addressed many points that he feels against DropBlox. Definitely not all I agree with, but he mentioned how the game doesn't have a finite release date, and because it had no finite release date, that its final release actually didn't mean anything when the game was silent for so long. He mentioned in the video about the game's minimal communication, on how the game had only come out with the trend date, which will be mentioned later. The game's release date was only announced straight after that video, which was a problem. The developers should have set an estimated release date that was far in the future and not set it last minute, which was a big problem with DropBlox. DropBlox's minimal communication made it hard to keep up with, and the only thing that they were posting were leaks once a month, and these leaks once a month only included maps. For example, some of that were leaked was King's Castle, and King's Castle was one of the most critically acclaimed maps because of this. But I just wish the developers would put some form of devlogs to track progress. That way it would be easier knowing when the game came out, and more communication with fans is always positive. Fans love hearing that, hey, a certain map was done, or hey, the UI was done, etc. That would have been really helpful. Because of this minimal communication, a lot of followers followed suit to KinecoKitten. After all, in the community, is someone who paves the trends, the big question that only makes the call for the rest of the YouTubers to come in with their videos. One of the YouTuber videos that was made was a good friend of mine, Raid's video. His video discussed on how he felt DropBlox couldn't be revived and the release dates nobody knew when it was coming out. Other than one message, there was minimal communication on the game. It's clear the developers care about the game. They put a lot of effort into it, making sure it stays good a game. But in doing this hard work, they forgot to put communication and, well, had a video with almost 500k views come on the game, which is unfortunate. Definitely seemed like a ratio from there. Secondly, about the game's release date, it's worth noting that the release date has changed 3 times and been delayed 3 times, which honestly isn't really acceptable. If you make a promise, you need to keep it and have a fair release date that you can estimate with the setbacks. Developers seemed like they just rushed the release date and it wasn't really planned. It just seemed that they estimated the date, but then bam, moderated assets came in and showed a developer restrooms treat, which said at around 1:20 a.m. Roblox decided to moderate a lot of the assets we used, so we're getting them reinstated. In the meantime, DropBlox will be private. This should have been planned in advance knowing Roblox's moderation system. We've all had our faults, and this was one of 3 delays. The second delay came after minor bugs were released in the game. If they were such minor bugs, I don't understand why Jofu would delay the game entirely. After all, it is called minor bugs, right? If they were major, that makes sense, as another delay where a game-breaking bug was found that needed to be fixed immediately, which made sense. But these bugs should be expected. As I said in my tweet, this is the third time it's been delayed. Please stop making empty promises with your developers in order to meet a popularity/trend quota. It's getting ridiculous now. Game-breaking bugs before release, they should have never made these promises. These empty promises really let players down and give them an unreliable source to not expect would know what's coming. You can't make any empty promises with the game and expect players to be happy. One-time delay, that's fine. Strike 1. Two-time delay, okay, getting ridiculous now, and strike 3. This doesn't make sense to plan a release date, especially on a holiday. Nobody is going to play on Christmas, because wherever they celebrate, most people are spending time with their families or enjoying their break even if they don't celebrate Christmas. Most people will not be online, and therefore peak hours have gone down. I said the same with Super Doomspire. Especially, your peak player count will go down. Because your peak player count went down, therefore the game will get less publicity. I'm glad, however, they realized their mistake. The tweet from them reads, "Hello DropBlox community, after careful consideration we have decided to delay the release of the game one more day. We've heard your concerns about releasing on Christmas and it wouldn't be fair to work our devs overtime on a holiday. We hope you understand and enjoy the holidays." And honestly, good on them. I hope they've learned from their future mistakes to not release on a holiday, not peak hours, or pressure developers especially under this work. We don't want developers quitting because they are too stressed out. Next, the game's originality. The game's originality can be inspired, that's fine, but the game claimed to have original elements. So far, I've only seen 2 original elements in this game, which is the color-coded minigame, which good job on that one by the way, and boss battles, which is a good start. Boss battles are fun and creative, and I wish they'd had more boss battles instead of just one to make it creative. Possibly one at the end of each round. However, the general purpose of the game is a party minigame, but just feels awfully similar to Bunny Guys. They need more rounds that make it fun. For example, I believe a good minigame would be sports. The game needs more sports-related themes to make it fun, because those are good and original, and the original Fall Guys didn't have that many sports. One of them that have been added is pushing cannons, but I definitely believe that more should be added with the push features such as soccer, etc. Another good minigame would be to add a Plinko minigame that gives you bonus points at the end of each round, which adds extra time to the gameplay experience. Lastly, the game needs more otherworldly themes. The building is spectacular, but the game needs more original themes. For example, forget jungle, sea, space. Make more original themes like a mini kitchen, another game collab theme with other games to make it more publicity. This game needs more outworldly features that make it original. I hope my points help. Thank you so much for watching my video, I'd really appreciate it. This new style of video I mainly come now, and honestly I hope this video is good. Because this new type of video is like new with the VTuber, and I hope you guys like it a lot. Thank you.